the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, I pray.
Amen.
Before I conclude the prayer, Chairperson, Bunyangabo District, Luemba Abraham, have contested on a post of culture, ethic, and religious affairs.
FDC oye! People oye! SG Nadala oye! All of you the blues oye! One Uganda! One people! Thank you for coming. My name is Wokuri Madanda. I come from Mbale City. I have 2 issues to present here. Maybe 3. 1, to welcome you. 2, to pass to you a message that, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. I don't want us to accept the framing that is being tagged on us. Our MC, I want you to give me just a minute, an extra, to tell you just something brief. Yes. What is being tagged on us here? What is being tagged on us here, the people of Najana Nkumbi, that those are people who are not defiant, that those are people who have left the FDC mission for which it was founded. And I want to dispute that. Because we are here, we are still on the mission that FDC was founded. Why? I am here. I don't think in this party I'm one of the very defiant people, if you ask. If I give you just a brief story of my nasty history, I have ever been to Narufenya with the party president. I was in Bukadea, feasted on when we went to guard the Soroti East elections. I have been in prison, I have been in police cells, so nobody can challenge that Margaret or Wokuri Madanda is not a defiant person. But there is a principle. We must always move on principle. I participated, I have been at the front line of PG activities. Why? Because the party sat here and said we are going to have 2 fronts, isn't it? We are going to have a front of activism based on in Katonga, and then our party here, led by the party president and the secretary general, would mobilize for elections. That is what was recorded in the NEC, and there is a minute to that. So I have been at the forefront of PG activities because I knew that that was what my party had sent me there to do. But the moment our colleagues started talking Germany and Gujarati and saying now we should concentrate on only defiance, that we needed to remove the people of Najana Nkumbi because they don't believe in defiance, I said no. I think now our relationship has ended. So members, that's why I'm saying we should not accept how we are being labeled, that those are people, they are being misled, they are being bought. Nobody. And I don't think anybody can buy me. No, no one can buy me.
Thank you very much.
I only... But, MC, I'm here to call for reconciliation as a party. Because what I've realized is that every time we go into an election, FDC members are hyper, you know. People behave, people talk like there is no tomorrow. In 2012, there was a group of us who supported the current Secretary General as flag bearer. The other group was laboring us that SG was about to be bought. He was supposed to go for Bank of Uganda slot. That election ended. In 2015, we regrouped. Many of the people who were supporting General Muntu, came back. We regrouped. So in FDC, we keep regrouping every time there is what? An election. Moreover, also, members, there is also a saying that anger of a sister is felt in the flesh, not in the bones. So members, when we are hitting our colleagues, let us hit with a softy, because one day we can be hostile to each other, but I'm very sure, like day follows night, that we are going to reconcile and carry this party and take over this country and make the best policies that everybody will benefit. Thank you so much.
Is greatly associated to nurturing and unpicking of young thugs or young leaders, and I'm one of them. Had it not been for them for shopping for me, I would be a politician somewhere, not within the Forum for Democratic Change. But they went and handpicked me from the village of Nakituba, in the parishes of Muntu, in the districts of Amuriat, and brought me to the national politics. There is no politics that we can play in this country when we don't have men who hold firm their positions. I have constantly spoken to the two men who are here, but the burden is on you people to clean up these people. They have mud-slapped our candidates. They have mud-slapped our president. They have mud-slapped our Secretary General. And the intention is to kill the party. Yes. And if you people take this forum, this sitting for a joke, I want the message to be delivered by this sitting today to the faction of Katonga that we are alive and we're moving alive much better than we were. To my colleagues whom I sit with them in the 11th Parliament, in the Forum for Democratic Change, you honored me and respected me and voted for me to be your speaker, jointly and severally. I have stayed firm to the attributes of the party to date. And I have agreed with you severally that we need to stick together. And in that same measure, I want to appreciate my party whip, whom the party has nominated, Professor Nsibambi, who has been able to nurture me today. There is no way I can walk out of this podium without appreciating the founding member of the Forum for Democratic Change, the Honorable Jack Sabiti. He did not get the Forum for Democratic Change when it was already built. He built the party by himself and a few thugs whom we have here. The people who joined along the way now pride in having built the party. And behold, the suspect is greatly known. It is to you people, you know the person claiming. I am telling the faction in Katonga, my choice of coming as the legal juggernaut of the Forum for Democratic Change is hellfire to you. I have relinquished my ambitions to speak for the party, but it is no sign that the former spokesperson speaks more sense than I am, but because I want to deal with him in the arena they have chosen to go. And that arena is our courts of judicature. I don't know a lot of things in this world. I do not know how to abuse in Luganda. I do not know how to have the fake accent that you do have, but I do know a few things about legs, and that is law. Ladies and gentlemen, as I wind up, let this sitting today give you an array of hope that hope is not lost. In Uganda, we still have people who can measure and run for positions of presidency, Secretary General, and can lead this country in equal measure. As we aspire for the the tenets of FDC was set on the postulations of the Montesquieu, of the executive being able to check the legislature and the judiciary. I am asking the members of this party, going forward, I want people who are capable of projecting that agenda. And if you think we can do this together, I am with you from the beginning to the end. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
One people, one Uganda. Mine is going to be a little bit brief. First of all, I'm not a politician in that capacity. I was just an ordinary teacher. We got involved in politics, I can say by mistake, because of what is going on. But now I'm in it. I cannot run away. So you will pardon me when I don't say things the way politicians are supposed to do it. I think this is a great moment in the history of FDC. It is the only party where you have leadership change through a democratic process. It's not happening elsewhere. And whatever happened this week at Katonga is reversing the clock. We have a process where we get leaders through a democratic electoral process. Not nominations, not declarations or directives. So we should clap for this moment that you are going to change the leadership through a normal democratic process. I just want to say one or two things. This process is legitimate and legal, also regular. It was confirmed by our two most important organs, the National Executive Council and the National Council. So when those two organs confirm this process and lay down a roadmap, it cannot be stopped by any court of law. Because it's a process which has been duly confirmed by the only two organs which are supposed to do it. So you cannot sit anywhere under whichever organ, even if it is legitimate, to stop a process and the roadmap confirmed by duly authorized organs under the Constitution. I've studied law. These people are saying I'm a teacher. For you to be appointed as a teacher, definitely you are not the last person in the class. You must be somewhere. So I studied law. I've taught law for 25 years. And I've practiced law for 25 years. So as a student of law, a teacher of law, and a practitioner, whatever I'm saying, I'm talking in law. So we are talking law. Comfortably pick forms, be nominated, turn up for election. There is no court of law that is going to stop this process. It is impossible. However, now that I'm a politician, those guys are not saying they're not FDC members. But since they have not gone through these processes, be happy that you have now mobilizers out there who are going to mobilize for FDC in that regard. So we welcome the mobilizers of Katonga. Don't throw them away. They have opted not to be leaders because they have gotten out of this democratic process. But they are not saying they are not members. So we have powerful mobilizers based at Katonga. May God bless you. Uganda.
I'm Honorable Kawasita Beatrice Adieri, Woman Councillor Central Ward, East Division, Hoima City. I congratulate my SG and party president who are nominated today. I was one of the second of Secretary General. So I thank all members of FDC countrywide. Thank you very much for building FDC and building structures. I am there to build structures in Hoima for FDC. I've been telling my people of Hoima, I had many questions. Are you group Katonga or group Najanankumbi? I was telling them, I cannot be in opposition to this government and in my party. to be in opposition. So, me, I'm for my power, and Nandala, I'm there to support my party president. And I'm in Hoima, I'm a chairperson Women League in FDC. So we have a delegate conference on 16th. I'm coming.
The 6th.
Kamukisha oye! Black Sabbath oye! One Uganda!
One people.
One people!
One Uganda.
Ra. Amen. John,
Yes.
I'm very unfortunate. You have invited me after the best speakers have spoken. You should have started with me.
Don't worry.
One, I will say, Paul, wish you well. My younger brother, Namugisha, wish you well. You're going to compete. Me, my brother Masikodan is there.
No, I'm
He's not
withdrawing in favor of power.
One Uganda.
One people.
One people.
I want to make just a few comments and also sit down. One, I want to talk about Yusuf Sibambi, Haji Yusuf Sibambi. Number one is that those who don't know him, I know him. I joined Makerere before some of you were born. We are young mates. We were the youngest boys in the university. He was in the law class. I was in statistics. He was in Mitchell. I was in University Hall. I was coming from Nairobi. I had gone to do architecture. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it. That's another story for another day. Now, Yusuf, throughout the 3 years, you know, at our time, law was for 3 years. Not now where it is what? 4 years. Yusuf would go to class. He never carried a book. He only took his head to what? And he came back with his head only. When time came for exams, he was the best student. So that shows that if Sibambi, Yusuf, decided honorable now, we know he's calling him Yusuf. So Yusuf, if I call you, you will forgive me. If he had gone to government to work, he would be one of those high-ranking
Supreme Court judge.
I'm sure it would be a Supreme Court what? So are you getting me? So we as a party, we are really lucky and privileged to have such a brain in our party to leave all those other places to come and work, stay with us in the party and work for FDC. Let us clap for Yusuf. That this party FDC is not for failures. It's not for what? We come here bringing our heads, our bodies, everything to this party. And when we come here to work, it is unfortunate for others to grade others as they have been bought. Are you getting me? Let me ask a simple question. How much can you buy me? No, how much, you look at me, I might be small. How much can you buy me? Just look at me. And just look at me. My head here, there are people who want it. Not to, they want it daily to use it. And you go and sit and say, I have been bought. Bought me, Nandala. I want to tell my colleagues of Katonga that I am priceless. I am what? Priceless. I saw some of them posting on Facebook that, oh, those social media that have failed to pay. I've taken coffee from farmers that failed to pay. They don't know how coffee is grown. The owners of the coffee are not complaining. And you are just a person who has never seen a trough of coffee, you are complaining. Do you have sense? And I want to tell you today, if there are some baggies was here, you talk to them. I have been entrusted with one of the richest institutions in this country called the British Cooperative what? Union. As we speak, it has over 12 million kilograms of coffee. For you who know how to multiply, get 11,800 times 12.5 million kilograms. That's the money in my hands. Plus equipment, plus assets. Those are the items they have said you are the askari. If I want the money, why don't I take that one? Why don't I take that one? I want to tell the people of Katonga that I am priceless. And I want to tell Dr. Yesiga and the team that we have been there for them. We have been there what? For them. The reason they cannot move is because we are no longer there for them. So I want to tell you, the members of FDC, that your party is in safe hands, and I'm asking you to give me another term. Nothing will get lost. I heard they are saying we have sold the Najana Kumbi. This Najana Kumbi here, this one here that I sell this. You guys, why do you want to demean us to that extent? Your property Najana Kumbi is very safe. I laugh at somebody that I went to look for Garuga that we sell. Garuga knew me when I was young, when I was working for PTA Bank as a financial officer in 1992, getting a PTA check of 6,000 PTA dollars per month. Who am I by then? I was young in Burundi. Do you know Burundi? In 1992, I was earning 6,000 PTA dollars. You get that time was 1.2. How much was I earning? Just an unmarried man with all that money. Did they want me to drink it? So I am telling people that I saw cash. I saw money when I was still not yet born. And I will leave it. And I will never cheat anybody. Never cheat what? Everything which is taking place in the party is legal. Is what? Legal. Today when I went to nominate, the Electoral Commission said, but why do you bring all this? I wanted to demonstrate that you have brought a Secretary General who has gone to what? School. Not the one who goes to Kuyungiriza. Are you getting me? So, what we're all doing is legal, as the Honorable said, and I can tell you, all of you, on the day the Electoral Commission has announced to come, the meeting will be conducted according to the law. Are you getting me? Yes. And we have to put your people in the offices. I am lucky that I have a lawyer called Yusuf, and I have a lawyer called Bitek. Where has Bitek gone? And I can tell you, they have assured me that anything we're doing, if they want legal, we shall go legal. If they want politics, we shall go what? Politics. If they want the other one, we are known to it. We are known to it. We want to tell the people of Uganda that FDC is a party you should trust and believe in it. Are you getting us? We cannot sell FDC to anybody. If I, Nandala, decided to go become Governor Bank of Uganda, which they have wished me every day, I go alone. I don't go with FDC. Are you getting me? During the elections, I have been governor. Now they call me, I'm going to become Minister of what? Finance. So you are lucky that they are talking about Nandala that he is capable to do something. They are not saying Kaija can become even a minister for the country. So all of you, you should be happy that you have somebody they can talk about, that he has capacity. Don't have people who are not have capacity to be the ones to lead your party. So I want to state that your party is your party, safe and will move forward, and nobody should threaten you on anything. Nobody should threaten you on what? FDC, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
One Uganda.
One people.
One people.
One Uganda.
God be with you.
All the cars and whatever. My bosses. So if someone comes here and tells you, you people you don't like so and so, you people don't like a message, what did you do for him, you? What? Honorable Swami here was in court full time. Honorable Juba by then, he stood for that position of where voting the government that time. Money was there. All of us could get a lot of money. One time I may tell you a good story before I end.
I have occupied many positions in FDC. The current one is and has been vice chairperson. Forum for Democratic Change stands for democracy. And I'm going to talk about democracy very briefly. What is democracy? Democracy is the government of the majority, but taking care of the interest of the minority. Did you get that? Very good. If you don't take care of the minority, then you are not democratic. You must listen. And that's what FDC is. We listen to each and every one in the party, even outside the party. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a crisis. But because we are following democracy, we are going to overcome this crisis. Because we recognize the interests of each and every member, of each and every citizen of this country. What FDC doesn't want is to create a kind of cult leadership. You know what I mean by cult? Nobody is infallible. Nobody is infallible. Everybody has ideas and should be free to contribute. Dr. Besige left this party and went to Katonga, which is okay, and we all agree. But from Katonga, he wanted to control what is going on here. And there are a lot of people who are following him as if he is a cult leader, as if what he says is infallible. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to stick to democracy. In a democracy is not cheap, it's very expensive. Democracy stipulates that after a given period of time, there must be elections. And those elections must be followed in accordance to the constitution of the organization, in our case, FDC. And we are here to fulfill our obligations of electing people, which is a democratic system of choosing leaders. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
I feel happy. Because if you see a younger generation seated carefully, listening carefully, then you know that we are moving. I am an advocate of people who believe in changing systems as things move on. There must be systems. That's why we have a constitution in this party. Anybody who diverts from this constitution and he wants to do his own things, create your own structure, get out of FDC, let the FDC people continue the way they are. I worked with my brother Besige. I suffered for him, everybody knows. Spent a lot of money on that man. Disorganized my cars as he was talking about. But now what he's paying back to us is that you people, you are stupid, get out, I want to take over FDC again. Then if you want to conduct a coup in this party, if we give you the office of the president of Uganda, will you ever leave that chair? Will you ever? So I am asking you to adhere to the constitution of this party. Don't deviate. We had allowed him as elders. He said, no, let's go for this, demonstrating in town. The committee gave him permission. NEC said, go there, go do your violence there, and be in touch with us. But I'm told, since then he has never reported to this party. So he decided to inflame himself, to think that he's FDC, everybody should be with him. We gave him 2 terms, and the Constitution demands, once you finish your 2 terms, you can, go to another office. For example, I was the Treasurer General here. 2 terms, 10 years, from 2005 to 15. I left. I'm a founding member, would have claimed, you people, where are you taking me? I said, no, I must go behind and push this younger generation that has come in to make sure that they do and complete what we didn't accomplish. But Best still thinks he's the only one who is better than everybody. There is no way. No way. No way. We have resisted before, and we shall continue resisting. So you, the younger generation, get more organized. This is your headquarters. Me and Nandara Mafabi plus the system organized this place, paid for it with the help of Parliament, members of Parliament. This is your headquarters. If Bese wants to be as a member of the party, he can come back here. There are many chairs around. Surely. Yes, when I come here, I don't rush to Nanda Mafabi to sit there, rush the chairman's or the president's chair. No, I am a member of the party. I am entitled to coming here, right? If you say come and sit here, that's where I sit. But I can't force that since I am a founding member of this party, therefore, I must be here. I must be in this office. So I am requesting you, the younger generation, please get organized. Don't just, play around. Get organized. Make sure the structures of the party are well organized. Do the recruitment. Put in new people so that we have another younger generation behind you. Otherwise, the party will just vanish. So, with these few words, I've been requested by some members of this party that you, as the elder, come and help and be the chairman. Since I have my brothers here that I have worked with, I'm not worried. If you can elect power to be the next president, you put Nanda Mafabi I worked with as a Secretary General, as we plan to look for a candidate for the presidency. You get me? So please, I am pushing you as the younger generation, please get organized. We got organized, that's why we have this party here. I'm the one of those, me and this man from Acholi, Regan Okumu. It's me and him who went to rescue Besigye when he was stuck in South Africa. We sat for 3 nights. 3 nights convincing him to come back. And we bring him back. We give him the presidency, all the terms he wanted. He used it. Now he wants to disorganize FDC to form his own group. That one we cannot accept. That one we cannot accept. So all this is in your hands as the younger generation. For us, me, Power, Nandara, we are now at another level, given our age. So now we are leaving it to you. But always no Katawadoa, we shall come. Like I was asked, the party people came and said, come and stand. If you want me just serve and guide you, because this constitution, I was fully involved in its creation and registration. Nobody can tell you, it's not BSG who created this party. Yes, we were 3 groups. Parliamentary Advocacy Forum, of which I was again the Treasurer General in the Parliament of Uganda. I was among those who brought an idea, can't we work with this reform agenda? And they accepted. And that's how we got in touch with the reform agenda. That's how we went to South Africa, discussed with BSG, and finished. We say, come be our president, but now he wants to disorganize every leader in the party. I understand he has sent messages in my constituency. I welcome him in Ruchiga. Let him come there to disorganize. Then we shall see how me and him can face each other. Lastly, the new executive which is coming in, you can see we need a lot of work here. There are things me I look at. Nandara had promised that we shall modernize here, and that's why I'm asking you to give these people a chance. Another 5 years to try and see how we can improve this place, so that we have a permanent home. Elders, my colleagues, please advise the youth in your districts. This party is on the right course. This evening, I'm told I'm going to be on NBS. They rang me, and I said I'm meeting who? I want you just to watch, because I think Katonga is sending people there. I want to meet them tonight, and then we see how we handle each other. With these few words, FDC, FDC, Ra, Ra.
FDC, one Uganda, one people. Ra, cha, young brother Moses Mugisha, all of you elected leaders, members of the great FDC, I am going to make short remarks because much of what I would have said has already been addressed. But before I do that, I would like to invite my young brother Moses Mugisha, who is really, by all standards, an upcoming politician, and probably one day when we have tested in him enough, he could become the president of the FDC, you never know.
One Uganda, one people. Ra, cha. Colleagues, thank you for coming. I would also want to thank the organizers of this meeting for having invited you on this day. I've just been whispering to Nanda that I think, given the coldness that we have in our hearts, some of us, such engagements are good. The more they are, the better they will be. Colleagues, I'm not in my best moods lately, and particularly today. That's why I'm even low, because I'm hurt. I am hurt by a number of things. First of all, I am hurt that my colleagues, whom I love and respect a lot, by the way, are not here in spirit and physically. Because for me, and you know someone, I think it was Honorable Kawasita, who said they keep asking her, do you belong to Tonga group or Najanankundu group? I've also been asked that question. And I said, how can that be? How can you be asking me such? Because there is only one FDC. And for me, I can't walk over that. I can't walk out of that gate empty-handed. Not with the years that I've put here. So I said I will go and contest. Now, when there is an incumbent president and another one offers himself to contest, it is usually because that other person feels he has views that are better than the incumbent in the way the situation should be managed. That is why I'm running for party president. I've heard my colleagues say, oh, Byamudisha, you are going there, you are going to legitimize me. Byamudisha. I was a candidate for party president in 2017. I came and I told you that I'm the best party president. Some of you voted for. Now I am back. And my brother, you know, it's a campaign, so you forgive me. You know, and you will forgive me again. I'm speaking from that background. They think I am here. Colleagues, let's have some. Okay, so the campaigns have started. We will have an opportunity to come and talk to you guys. We have few days, Mr. President. The days are few. Last time we campaigned for 90 days. This time we have 10, only 2 weeks. But I understand that they are actually 2 weeks because partly some of the problems we've been going through. I intend to come to you, either physically or otherwise, and I explain to you my manifesto. But I think at the top of my manifesto, at the end of the day, the biggest idea is that with all that has been happening outside there, it would be very important, colleagues, to give this political party the leadership that is fresh, with fresh ideas, and can also be accepted by everyone. Because we don't want to lose every member. I know I'm talking to a strange audience. I can see you're all very smart with my brother's t-shirt, which is very okay. But it would be important that in such a situation like now, when you have our colleagues who are outside, and by the way, don't think that they are going away from FDC. They love FDC. They want to come. There is simply a failure in management of the contradictions that we are having. I was asking colleagues, it's not the first time that we are having issues of this one is working with an adversary. But there is a way we have always managed them. When you feel Byamudisha Moses is working with an adversary, you technically and quietly push him away from the vital office and information. Then you let the situation continue. That is why that is why the word more is not new in FDC. We've lived with that word. What does that mean? That someone is working with an adversary. When we feel you are working with an adversary, we come here. We campaign against you. Yeah. We make it a campaign issue. Yeah. And we tell delegates that this person, the way we look at him, we don't trust him. He should be pushed away. Yes. That's what I will be telling you. I want to conclude, and I want to conclude, colleagues. I want to conclude by asking my colleagues, the party, Honorable Nandara and Honorable Amuriat. You have seen, I was talking to the Electoral Commission, over 120 young people came and picked forms to offer leadership. That offers hope. The only thing we are requesting you, first, facilitate a smooth electoral exercise. There are things that we can no longer rectify now, time and everything, but going forward, let these young people who have come up to aspire for leadership compete fairly so that someone loses or wins fairly. When I lost to him in 2017, I gave one of the best concession speeches in this country. Because I felt that he deserved, he had won fairly. Even now we are competing, I would want to win fairly. Finally, colleagues, I would have said this to my two colleagues only, but I should also say it. One of the things that hurt me, out of the 39 districts that compose Western Uganda, 20 districts are missing out in this process. And yet, those 20 districts have got supporters who would have loved to be here. I know what my brother Centenary, I understand, don't actually say at their own wish. Most of them didn't wish. And they are making calls and they're saying, someone sat on us, but we are FDC. We would want to participate. Can we have some plans for them? Yes, Mr. Secretary General and my brother Amuriat. I know, let's take an administrative or political decision. Let's see what we can do. We can't afford to go into a process and conclude it when there is an entire region that is out. We will not do much. We discussed together already that even after this election, no matter who wins between us, we should be able to have activities that are intended to revive the vibrance of our supporters, no matter who wins by the way. Rejuvenate the morale, and even convince our colleagues to return back. And when I come to youth campaign, I'll be giving you my proposals on how I think we can resolve this crisis. I thank you, and surely I love you all.
Spoken about historical events of this party. And I've taken the opportunity to thank a number of people who formed the building blocks of this organization. Today, when I see and read what is happening on social media, where FDC is going against FDC, using very, very unkind words, I feel very sad for those who put their all into the building of this organization. Previous speakers have spoken about my brother, Yusuf Sibambi. I have been around the country talking to some of you in the last few weeks, and I did speak to the goodness and brilliance of Yusuf Sibambi. 58 leaders left Uganda to go to South Africa, and in a place outside Johannesburg, about 1 hour north, called Krugersdorp, we held the first ever National Delegates Conference of the FDC. The FDC had already been formed back home. And one of our main objectives of going to South Africa was to endorse Dr. Kizza Besigye and cause his return to this country. Some of you were privy to this event. But there was a turning point when Dr. Kizza Besigye was arrested and his candidature for the election of 2006 was on the balance. I want to thank Yusuf Sibambi, who is here. Yimba Mutale, who is not with us. John Matovu, who is also not here, for saving the candidature of Dr. Kizza Besigye. So for you who goes on social media to insult these three gentlemen claiming you are fighting for Dr. Kizza Besigye, you do not know what you are fighting for. I could go on and on, but I'm one person whose defiance credentials some people want to question. Somebody who has been in jail several times, including staying in Nagalama, lying on the same floor with Dr. Kizza Besigye for 13 days, waiting to be charged with murder. And today, a man with 30 consistent years of resistance against the dictatorship in Kampala is being branded an ANRM person preparing to sell the FDC to Museveni. That is probably the greatest insult I have had in the entire political, my entire political career. But you would expect this in politics. When you disagree with some people. I came here in 2017 courtesy of the votes that some of you gave to me. I had expected a smooth presidency. I thought because I was supported by everybody, I would be allowed to sit in Najanankumbi and help to direct matters here. Unfortunately, some people thought otherwise. They thought I should be under the direction and control of them, that I would be told what to do while president here, that I would serve their interests while sitting in Najanankumbi. I said to them, I'm a man of my own. I am not going to come under the command, direction, instruction of anybody, whatever his size. I think that's where my troubles with Katonga started. When the FDC was in great need of having a candidate for the presidency, we went to Dr. Kizza Besigye and asked whether he would change his mind about an earlier decision that he had taken not to run. And he said, I'm not running. The next that we asked from him was support in terms of, first of all, looking for votes, but also in terms of financing, helping us, to show us where he used to get money. He failed us on both accounts and gave all sorts of excuses why he would not come to the elections. I traveled from north to east, east to west, south to West Nile. I went to the plains of Teso. I went to the terraces of Kigezi, to Bundibujo. I saw some of you coming from Bundibujo here, Chairman Musema and the others, as if I was an orphan. And yet I had put in my everything during the previous elections supporting Dr. Kizza Besigye. Indeed, as it has already been mentioned, I risked my constituency in 2016, when I was appointed the National Field Coordinator for the national campaign. First, during the internal processes where Dr. Kiza Besigye was elected flag bearer, and then later in the national campaigns. And there is evidence to this. Recently, I told our founding president that I didn't believe it was about dirty money, that he didn't come to the campaign. It wasn't about COVID either, but it was because he wanted to preserve himself for another day politically. We here in the leadership came under intense pressure to hand over the flag to the NUP candidate, and we rejected that. We felt we had a responsibility to preserve our party. We were not about to surrender our party at the whims of individuals serving personal interests to another political organization. If we hadn't done that, there would probably be no FDC to speak about today. That was my crime number 2. Today we gather here, ladies and gentlemen, fellow comrades, to underline our democratic credentials. And permit me at this point to congratulate all of you who successfully got elected in your different villages, parishes, sub-counties, counties, and districts. Congratulations, comrades. It is because of you that we can speak about an election. And this particular election was conducted under very difficult circumstances, as you are aware, because there was conflicting information. Our friends in Katonga said, don't participate in the elections. And some people listened to them, because of the 2 centers of power, the second center of power actually, that Katonga has deliberately built over the years. And to you, my brother Moses, it's not just that we dislike the districts in Western Uganda. As a matter of fact, it is the leaders, or the former leaders now, who shielded the common man from participating in that election. And I want to assure you, my dear friends, we are going to work around that to ensure that the 20 districts, or even less, of Western Uganda get on board. And work has already started. Your coming here emphasizes the fact that you are going to listen to one command center, your president, and the leaders in Najanankumbi are not the leadership in Katonga, because they do not constitute the recognized leadership that was elected into office under the law. And so, I sometimes laugh at my elder Dr. Kiza Besigye, Elias Lukwago, the Lord Mayor, a man of the law, people like Semujunganda, Ambassador Birigwa, Mujuke and the rest for attempting to stage a coup. This is the fourth attempt to remove the leadership from Najana Nkumbi. The first attempt is when they came here, breathing fire to challenge the authority of the president and that of the Secretary General. We pushed them back. The second attempt was together with people around the Lord Mayor, whom I appointed. They attempted to disorganize the National Executive Committee in order that the elections that we have participated and are going to participate in does not happen. From that time, they ran to Zambia and they fell flat on their faces. They went to the fairway and they fell flat on their faces. The third attempt to stage a coup was when Dr. Kizza Besigye came here to the 15th National Council. And true to his promise of 3 years before, he came accusing me, the Secretary General, and the leadership here of taking dirty money from Museveni. And the Secretary General has spoken, and I believe spoken for all of us on this matter. That coup as well collapsed. The fourth attempt to stage a coup and get into the leadership of the FDC through the ventilator instead of going through the front door happened on the 19th at Katonga, where a chairman of the party, behaving like a comedian, hastily organized what they now call an extraordinary delegates conference. I want to say to you, my dear friends, we are here, we are in charge. Those leaders who assigned themselves duties are leaders of Katonga, they are leaders of Birigwa, they are leaders of Dr. Kizza Besigye. They have no bearing at all on the leadership in Najana Nkumbi, and the leadership has remained intact. I was a bit tempted to fire Birigwa, Salam, and Kajinda for failing in their duties under the Constitution. But so far I have been restrained by the working committee. The moment I have my way, Birigwa will no longer be chairman of this party. I have the powers under Article 28, 3B, Roman 3 to perform that duty. I will tell you this today. What we have learned about what is happening in Najana Nkumbi today is that we need to entrust responsibility in the hands of serious people, not jokers. We need to trust leadership in the hands of people who truly understand our party. Sometimes when I see Birigwa playing around with the party, he was one mistake that we made. He had just come from NRM a day before and brought under the guise that he was an expert in Buganda affairs, that he knew Mengo, that he had a following in Buganda. He was even an ambassador before, brought Seltel here, knew how to dance very well. He danced before, you remember. And yet, he had never felt the pain that we went through building this party. Today, one of the biggest mistakes that we have is when we allowed Elias Lukwago, a person known as a trouble causer everywhere he goes, to come here and the following day is appointed deputy president. Know that he was brought in here as a mercenary by the people in Katonga. I want to apologize to you, my dear friends, for an error in judgment in bringing in a mercenary who has never meant well for our organization. Wherever he goes, he kills parties. He moves to the next. He kills another one. Wherever he goes, he kills the next. He thought he would kill FDC, but I'm sorry for him, my dear friends. Nobody is going to kill this party, I want to assure you. Nobody is going to take this party anywhere, I want to assure you. So long as we're in charge of this organization. Lastly, but not the least, I know many of you have got to travel long distances. I would like to say to you, on Monday, next week, I will be hitting communities. Prepare. We won't be living in hotels. My team and I will be living amongst you. We are going to finish this campaign successfully, and there is going to be an election to bring in leaders. There is a lady who became senior in this place and became the biggest disruption I've ever had in my political life. She will come drunk to neck, sometimes carrying waragi. And she will shout at the top of her voice. And she would want to fight everybody. Do not send to neck those kind of characters. Because if we continue having those type of characters, they will cause the failure of this political organization. I want to promise you that in the next 5 years, we are going to stabilize this party. We managed the departure of General Muntu, even if it was heavy on us. We have managed to transcend people who thought they were the Alpha and the Omega. We went into the elections without them and achieved something. We are going to manage the rumblings in Katonga, and I'm sure those who were misled to believe that this party belongs to one person will turn around and return to their home. I would like us to work together to ensure this happens, so that we may continue to move together as one Uganda, one people. Thank you very much for your kind attention. God bless you, FDC oye! FDC oye! Nandala Mafabi oye! Yak Sabiti oye! Yusuf Sibami oye! Ukalazi Kibuka oye! Margaret Wokuri oye! Ibrahim Kasozi oye! Wilberforce Champade oye!